Good evening, everyone. My name is Dr. Anissa Riley, and welcome to another episode of the Ask Dr. Riley Show. So you just had an opportunity to see me speak with Miss Rocky, the fiance of Dame Dash, and now look who I have here. The both of them. Why are you looking at me like that?
I like how you're going to see me.
I like that. I have both of them here together.
See, that part was dope.
Okay. And we're going to have an opportunity to speak to the lovely couple together. So for all of you who didn't get the chance to see last week, go back, look at it so you can catch up and know exactly where we are in the mix of the show. So, Mr. Dame Dash.
Dr. Action.
For those of you who don't know, that's the nickname that he gave me. Yes, he calls me Dr. Action. So if you're like, who is Dr. Action? That's me.
Dr. Action.
That's me. But for all of you out there in TV land, my name is Dr. Anissa Riley, and welcome.
Why do I call you Dr. Action?
Why do you call me Dr. Action? It's supposed to be my show.
Oh, well, the reason why I call you Dr. Action is because you're about that action. You know, when you first started talking about doing things a different way, you were the first one that embraced it fearlessly, you went ahead and did it, and led by example to where everyone else had to. There's no excuses after you did everything. So you are Dr. Action.
And just to give a little background knowledge, it's Thursday background knowledge. So, for those of you who don't know or don't follow Dame, which you should, he's always inspiring. He's always asking people to live their best life, live in their dreams. And he presented that challenge, and I met the challenge, and I came back, and I was like, bam! Here it is. And so ever since then, it's been like, keep it moving, keep it moving. So, last week we were talking to Rocky about
Me?
Yes, about you and about love. Okay, guys, this is the show, so we don't have to hold that. We're gonna hold talk with it, okay? They don't even realize how much they're in love with each other. Like when they get around each other, like the whole world disappears. So I'm just trying to talk, and I just hear all this,
You're in a little bubble.
Yeah, they're in their bubble already. Help me get through this.
You know you gotta tip me.
Okay. All right. So this is a family show.
It is.
Well, depends on how old you can watch it. But my first question to everyone, Dame, is what is your definition of love? Because this season is about love. What's your definition?
Love is about happiness. And that's really how you sum it up. It's just bliss. Love is, caring about others and caring about yourself. As I say, love yourself so much that you have the ability to love others. You can't love yourself if you don't know how to love others. So, love is something that people have different definitions of. But for me, it's making me and my family very happy.
So when you think of this beautiful woman right here, Miss Rocky, what is it about her that makes you happy, to make you say, I love you, babe?
So many levels. Physically, she drives me nuts. Like, I've always had a thing for Spanish girls.
I know me.
It's the body, the curves, and everything. And, I had a high school sweetheart. And when I first met her, I said, remind me of my first high school sweetheart. So like I've been around a lot of women, like models, this, that, and the third. Well, they don't have this. So after I've been around women that have been paid a lot of money for their beauty, and then I'm like, this is real beauty. And I also made a decision when I first met her. If you don't look good when you wake up, I don't care about how you look at night. I don't care how you look with makeup. Your tuxedo is that body. Your shoes are those feet. So when you spend time with your woman, it's when she wakes up. It's when she is in her most natural place. So that's what I was looking for, the natural, and aesthetically, that's what, I didn't know she was Spanish, and, because she worked for me, I didn't look, down, but when I found out, I was like, oh, it was crazy, and then I was like, oh, you're Spanish, so that works out, but then also, like, it was really attractive to her. She's really humble about all the things that she can do at a professional level. Like, she'd rather showcase other people than herself. She'd rather help others, even before she helped herself back when I first met her. And So,
Can I pick up?
yes, sir. Joint job break.
That's right.
So, when we first started to build our galleries, and it was a collective of a lot of people, she was really genuinely the only person that worked with me that even cared. Like when people disrespect me or sue me when they shouldn't, and we just helped them, she would feel just as violated as I did, where the other people would just go and still hang out with the people. We had a big building, DD 172, and she's the only one that would make sure it was clean, and she just took care of everything, And I love the way she would, her relationship with my children. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot of things. Like, she's like, when you think about a girl, I'm a guy that's come from a lot of unrecognized trauma.
Yeah.
And she's always been like my vacation, my escape from it. Like when she met me, she didn't know who I was. She heard about me because she came to work, but she really didn't understand. And I knew that when I first met her. You don't know who I am, dude, but I knew that. So what I also knew was that she really genuinely liked me. There was no entitlement in our relationship, but she appreciated it. It wasn't like you gave me some goal or you're doing some goal that should be platinum. She just was really appreciative of new opportunities and new things. And then what I really loved about her was that, number one, she has great taste. Like she said with music, I have great taste in music. And when you have good taste in music and you know someone else and no one else does, there's a connection. Like it's just a connection when you, like, it's like a principal has a connection with a principal. Good taste, it's like, I found someone with good taste. You may be around a lot of people that don't. So you always have that kind of laugh, But what she brought me was culture. So when she would go out, like when she was working with me at first, she was like, after, like I would think that nothing that is going on in the world could possibly be cooler than what I'm doing. But as soon as like work after a certain time, they'd be like, she's like, I'm leaving. Where y'all going? Because she was with her friend Mackenzie worked with. And they'd be like, oh, we're going to this indie, and they'd be talking about this whole new world. So, to me, even back then, I'm like, I'm too old to be out there like that. So videotape it, and she bring it back. So I saw it, and I was really interested in it. And I was like, you know what, throw me a party. If y'all want to be in this business, because I really don't, but I am intrigued by the culture, throw me a party. And they threw me a party. She threw me a party, spent her own money in Dumbo in Brooklyn. It was the illest party in the street. There were models, supermodels, porno stars, DJs, the cool kids perform, indie rock. It was just a real cool thing. And this was like back then, when Williamsburg first started to, come around. So at that point, also she at some point broke her knee. And when she broke her knee, she thought I was going to send her, like, fire her. But I was like, the first thing from my mind, you know what I mean? I just really liked her in my life. And I was also transitioning from Rockefeller to wanting to do something different. And also, I really wanted to spend time. Like, what people don't understand is the real reason why I walked away from the music business, besides all the, it was taking too much time for me raising my children. And it wasn't an environment that I could bring my daughters. I really wanted to raise Tallulah. You know what I mean? So I ended up going to court, and I was able to get her from 12 to 4 every day because Rachel was working. She was a designer. And she was with me during that kind of whole process. She was even the one that would deliver the messages like, yo, they just said you're going broke and there's foreclosure, in the paper. They want to comment. And what would I do? What would I say?
Go to the park with the kids.
But they didn't care.
Don't respond.
It just was like, it didn't bother me. I kind of laughed at it because I just thought.
That might have devastated my whole week. Where Damon just didn't, he was like, whatever.
It's part of the game.
Like, take a moment to enjoy every part of your day. Damon has this motto, like, no matter what's going on, make sure you laugh.
You're not celebrating and laughing, like, that's the purpose. And that keeps you young. But she brought me culture. And then we opened up the gallery, and it was just filled with the coolest. She was like the queen, cool girl of the indie scene, And she brought all of that to me. And she broke her knee, and she was listening to the Black Keys. And on her birthday, they all went out. And, birthday is a big deal. And they left me. I'm like, where y'all going? They were like, we're going to Black Keys concert. I'm like, what about me? I can get in. Oh, it's sold out. I'm like, yeah. So I didn't go, but I said, call. And I liked the music. And then doing the Black Rock Project. Okay. She introduced me to MGMT when no one knew who they were. Like, I remember her running up to the car. And the thing about Raquel is in her face, you can see how elated she is. Like when she's happy, like when she talks about it, you can see it in her face. So she walked up and I just saw that brightness in her face. And she was like, "Dang, I want to tell you something about a band I really like." It was the first time she ever had that kind of conversation with me. And she played it, and it was cool. You know, MG went on to be really big. But it turned out, I was working with Jim Jones at the time, and they were on the same label. And they were known to be really snotty, didn't talk to nobody, real mysterious. 2 days later, we're at a concert. I got them doing high fives. I did Jim on a remix. They never did remixes. And it was like my introduction into the indie world. But she did all of that. She recognized it. She had good taste. And because, the energy was right, it just so happened they were on the same label, which was Columbia, And then, going through it, I really found that I was super duper attracted to her, and I really wanted her. She was curving me, like ridiculous.
Sorry.
Like curvature, and again, she's I'm too jealous and and then I was just like, it must be because I'm black. You know what I mean? Because she's Puerto Rican, you know what I mean? And sometimes old school Puerto Rican. But so when we worked it out, and she really was interested and made sure, she's like, "Yo, you got a wife or an ex-wife, you got children. I'm not getting involved in this until you make sure that you can do everything you can to be a dad to your kids." So she would actually drive me to Rachel's house to say, "Go work your shit out and make sure. But go," and you know what I mean? And it was just, she was ready to not even be in that relationship with me because she was putting my kids first. So I loved all of that shit. And, and we like to have fun. We kick it. She's like my homegirl. She's like it was like a slumber party that just never stopped. You know what I mean? So there it is. And then it's the feet.
Let's see those feet again. For those of you who missed last week, we talked about the feet. You have to figure out why the feet are there, but and then again, us fighting to have a child, showing the strength and resilience there was very impressive. It was like sometimes I would think sometimes she might panic or whatever, but she showed more strength than like people that are like gangsters, and the resilience and the way she rolled certain things. It was just no matter what, because she's so strong, I always have to be strong, and cool about it. But just the way she deals with things that she loves and how much she fights for it. And I just knew that, I'd never been in a relationship where I had a child with one of my best friends, with my best friend. I was never able to raise my child. I always had to visit my kids. That's been my fight since she met me. The reason why we were moving around was always because of my children, because I had to be on deck. And she was always ready to come through. Like when my ex-wife was like, "I'm moving to LA," with my daughters, I just shut everything down and we just broke out. Because I couldn't have my daughters in LA and I'm not up the block to protect them. I need to see them. But she was right there with me, riding up. But, being able to have a child with someone that you appreciate, to fight for it, a child, to go through all of this when, I haven't been through this to have a child. But then finally, there was a happiness that I'm having a happiness that I've never ever felt in my life. I tell her, especially when the baby, first 3 days, first months, I'd be like, "Yo, I'm really having the best time of my life. Every day has been better than the next, and it keeps getting better because, she even does shit. Like she makes sure when I wake up that the first thing I see is baby Buster. No matter what, I wake up and he's there, and my day is good. And she's very good at architecting the body. So having a schedule to do at all times and making sure that we're all accommodated. Like she was the girl that at the party, she won best most party girl. Like the party. Like I said, she's the one that makes sure the party is always good. So the dinner is always good. Breakfast, every food is good. All our clothes are good. All our sheets are good. She takes very particular attention to the details. Like I might want it, but she'll make it happen. Eventually we're gonna do this. You don't have to tell me that. I'll get it done. So we'll have the best bed, best on the bed. Like she knows how to spend the money. She knows how to really digest and marinate life. And then she got damn ass, like she pulled the whale. She definitely did. But I never thought that I could be in this kind of relationship. Like it's been a decade. And I was definitely known for not being that guy. And now I'm known for being that guy, which is great. But what I do want is for people to see what a healthy relationship looks like. What it looks like to be successful and enjoy your love, your woman, your family, being healthy. That should be the cool shit. She's the one that made it cool for me. So I think, I know how it's impacted me
And when I get the plug, I like to pass it. I'm not passing her around, but I will.
Let's be clear.
But I will give you the handbook. You know what I mean? Of like when we recognize and something else that was very impressive about her is how she embraced my love for her. She's never ever been like, don't talk about it. She's like, talk about it. She's actually looked to her for help. Like there's been certain situations where Aaliyah, like somebody might say something that might not be complimentary, and Rocky will protect her. Like, nah, we don't because whatever. Like somebody might ask. Like one day we were like with this girl. She's like, you get the new Homeboy record? I'm not gonna say his name. And she was like, you don't fuck with him, and like the straight right there. And then another day, sideways.
Wow.
And another day we were in upstate New York. And all of a sudden, these white butterflies just start flying all over Rocky. Like, no, I got pictures of it. I mean, I can show it to you. And then later on, we were talking to, an angel whisperer, and they actually referenced both of those situations. Aaliyah, and like Aaliyah picked her, she's the one. And what people don't really understand is a lot of like the similarities that I loved about Aaliyah. She has a lot of them because Aaliyah wasn't what people expected. There was a sense of confidence, but without making people feel intimidated. You know what I mean? And Rocky does that. Like, no, everyone really never feel like Rocky's never that girl that she thinks she all that. Never that. You know what I mean? It's always a humbleness with all the beautiful things that she does, and that's what Aaliyah had. You know what I mean? And then sometimes, like one time we were in the barn when we were in North Carolina, and I had never watched Aaliyah's last movie. It was too painful for me. You know what I mean? I never watched it. It came on. And Rocky was like, nah, you gotta watch it. And for some reason, she just knocked out. She just left me alone with me. That was crazy. Right? I was like, she was like, I don't know how I was knocked out. And I watched the movie, and it was crazy. But it was like I didn't have the strength to watch it without, because I had to be in love to watch someone that I love. It's like it's easier for us to talk about losing a child or a pregnancy now that we have one.
Yeah.
So also what I was able to do because of Aaliyah, the first time I was in love, was recognize what in love feels like. So I was like, oh, what's that feeling? I never thought I'd get it again. Yeah. And I got it. Now I'm like, we're doing everything together. You can't go nowhere. You know what I'm saying? You see, I'll be like, nah, we go. And I want to spend every second with her. So I've architected my life, and we've architected our life where we work together every day. We work out together every day. We swim together every day. We eat together every day. She takes a right there. We,
oh my
you know
God,
what I mean?
we're
Together not on the same boat, but we have to every day.
We can look right at each other.
Every day. You know what I
You can
mean?
feel it just sitting here right now. Like you can feel the energy. You can feel the love. Like you can tell that you guys really, really enjoy one another. And when you talk about it, it's something I said to you last week on the show. Was that your face lit up when you talked about him, and now he's talking about you, and your face is lighting up again. Like
lighting that face up.
Oh.
That's right. And and really, I'm gonna tell guys how to really. So I'm gonna tell you how to do it.
Oh yeah, the man. That's right. So guys, listen up. The man himself is gonna tell you how to do it.
What she told you was she met me and saw me in my most devilish state. Like when I'm running around, putting pressure on girls, making them walk in the walls. She knows.
You said walk as a wall?
Yeah, it's okay. I have stats for that. Like I know, I'm like, watch me make this girl walk in the wall, say something back. It happens all the time. And because she's done it, bump heads, the whole nine. But she loves, So she loves because she knows how that pressure feels to watch other people and how they deal with it. So she loves that part of me. And she also appreciates the fact that I love women, you know what I mean, and keep women around me. And we've always been real honest about that. And so I've never had to put a code on my phone. You see, she looks at me like, I don't care.
Yeah.
And like, in the perfect world, and I'm not saying it happened, but it's like, I'm not doing nothing without her. So if a girl likes me, she got to put an application with homie, you know what I'm saying? And, she's really very selective, you know what I mean? But at least I'd be like, like literally real top choice girls that people know have come at me, like in the city, and I'd be like, all right, come with me. And they have to sit and talk to Rocky, and some be mad, but some respect it. Yeah. Right? Like, I ain't gonna violate my best friend. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's the one thing, you don't lie to your best friend. Yeah. And if you do, that's not your best friend. Yeah. Only, you know, she's not the police. So I'm like, yo, if you know who I am, and I tell you who I am, then I don't want to be burned for it. But I'm never going to disrespect you and lie to you. But she's always been like, if there's a certain tolerance of honesty I'm not going to be having out of you. It's always, even your honesty better be respectful. Or else I'm not going to give you all that love. You know, we lived in a, I'll tell you something real quick. A little love story before the cars on. So we moved from Carmel. We all lived on like a compound in upstate New York. And it was an hour and a half from New York, from Manhattan. But, you know, we loved it so much, we kept going back and forth. But then it got crazy. And this is before we were together. So, but I was getting out ahead of it. So she was like, well, basically, kind of. So she was like, all right, well, I want to get a crib and you get your crib, so we'll get you your crib first. So she got a studio in a dope ass spot, and I moved in. I never got my crib. You know what I'm saying? I was like,
The setup.
right? But it was the best. It was a year that I lived in a studio apartment with a dog, and I had the time of my life. Because what she made me, what I was able to do was just be normal. We go to the store, we go grocery shopping, like that. I you know, I'm not to be like fronting or nothing, but like I've been pretty successful since I've been a teenager. Since a teenager.
Yeah.
So she got like in Carmel, take me to beer tasting, pumpkin picking, you know, farmer's market.
Yeah.
For a guy like me, that's my escape. I want all of that. I want a girl that takes pictures and paints and does all that, works out like yoga games, stupid form, everything. So, you know, that's really all the things for me. It's like finding that escape, being honest, showing your true self, never lying, and trying to find a common ground. We had for about a year, we knew we loved each other, but we knew what triggered each other. And we had to deal with those things. And it took a minute. Like you said, it was like, yo, you don't be talking. You know, when someone doesn't speak, the only time they speak is when they get emotional. So you have to trigger them. And I'm like, I'm not going through all that to get you to talk all the time. That's too traumatizing for both of them.
Yeah.
So we had to figure that out. We had to figure the girl stuff out. And she was like, you better figure it out. You know what I'm saying? But then what happened was she just wore me the down. You know, with the good food, the love, had a baby. Now she's in complete control. Wherever I go, on the knee in front of everybody. I bet that everybody saw it. There's a ring. When I'm not in the house, she can see me. And there's always one. I'm guarded. Nicolette guards me because she's always gonna pick her first. You know what I'm saying? She
Love
knows.
Nicolette.
So that's the comfort zone she's in, and I'm with her all the time. So I don't know that if I was a guy that didn't tell her the truth, if I was a guy that was cheating on her, if I was a guy that wasn't having, you know, that wasn't around, she might not be this person. She might be triggered all the time. I know one thing girls don't like.
Yeah.
They hate to be lied to and they can't catch you.
Yeah.
They go, I can't catch you. I know what you did.
Yeah.
It drives you
It
crazy.
drives a girl nuts.
Because you feel it.
I know I used to be that guy that used to trigger the people that were with me.
Feel it.
So I don't ever want to put that situation where I got a hit on me and I don't know when it's going to hit.
That goes
You know what
back
I mean?
to I love you and being in love because you care
Yeah.
about how she feels.
Yeah, definitely. And
Damon's one person that's always, he understands emotion better than anybody I've ever experienced. And so he can analyze his emotions and your emotions at the same time before I can even understand my emotions. He knows. He's like, I just think he's just lived a lot of different lives. And Damon does enjoy like experience in life. Like, okay, I want to do this. I want to learn how to do these things. So he can like, any type of person he meets, he can relate to them in some sort of way. Whether it's, you know, being on the streets to making a car. Like, Damon has like this whole array of knowledge that is just, it's for any person. You
Captivating.
Yeah, it's captivating. You wouldn't expect it. And he's like, I just put my TV in.
I'm hot.
So it's like,
So ask her some questions. Ask her some questions. Let's see. Let's see.
I had to leave the room last episode.
Yeah, you have to believe. So here we go. What is your favorite food? Let's see if you got this right.
Well, it's always like a cheeseburger, chicken fingers, but the vegan version. You know what I'm saying? And
Zing, zing, zing.
I used to really love oxtails, but it's a wrap.
There's no vegan oxtails?
Not that are gonna taste like oxtails.
If you want another amazing video with the one and only Dame Dash, check it out right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.